Greetings, travelers. Come warm yourself by the fire and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, tales of Tamriel. I am your host, Aggelos, and that awesome intro music that you just heard was brought to you by the amazingly talented Family Jewels, 7X. You can find him and see all of his amazing video game covers over at youtube.com/FamilyJewels7X. I am joined once again by the one, the only, the epitome of tanking, unless it's against my sexplar, Arkhaniir.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. You again throw me off there. Again.
It's the hype, get you up there, and then I just bring you right back down. Yes. And also, hello to all of the people in the chat room today. Hello, hello, hello. Before we get going, of course, I have to do our shout out to our awesome Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork. We have a new patron this month. It's, there we go. Brad Kaboski, thank you so much for donating to us over there. You rock. As well as both Nathan Gregory and Reckless for re-upping their subs for this month. Thank you so much, guys. You are amazing. We really appreciate that. It definitely helps us out, helps us continue to do what we do over here, and hopefully bring you the entertaining podcasts that you enjoy. We have a fun show because, of course, we have a few interesting things to talk about news-wise. It's only like really one thing, but I think we'll get a little bit of speculation out of it. Don't you, Ark? I think we will.
I do.
And I have been playing the living oblivion out of ESO recently. Like, Ark, you can see in our notes, and that's not even all of it.
1 page worth of tales there.
Yes, I have a page worth of tales. There's a lot that I have to go over today. So yeah, that'll definitely be fun. And then, of course, we have the 36 Lessons of Vivec, Sermon 19. Yeah.
There's still a lot to go.
Well, yeah, there's still a lot of sermons. You're right, but, you know, here we are. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on over. We are in-game yet again today, and I am on my ever-friendly handbag. That's right, he's an Argonian.
I gotta say, though, I love the new like UI you have on the stream.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah.
Been playing with it since I've been streaming a good bit more recently. So yeah, we have all of our notifications. We have our little, you know, whatever. In fact, here I'm gonna show one because I don't think it actually showed, but I'm gonna do it now since we had a new follower. Where is it needs to refresh. Why is it not up there yet? Anyway, we're gonna do this one. There we go. Woo. There we go for our new followers.
There's a delay, so I'm still.
Oh, well, you'll see it. You'll see it.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm surprised Dark hasn't.
Oh, there it is.
Yet. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, and I don't know why at the moment it's a little behind. Like my Streamlabs is just a wee bit behind, and I really don't know why. I'm going to restart the session there real quick.
I don't know.
It's weird. Anyway, whatever. the Streamlabs is behind, but the followers shouldn't be there. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, in game. So I've been playing my handbag recently, and there's a reason for why I'm playing the handbag. The handbag's being played specifically because Thaís is actually going to be coming back and playing again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I know where we left off because, of course, you know. She's like, just go ahead on your main, do what you need to do, and you know, you can just go ahead. And I'm like, well, the nice thing about Tamriel Unlimited when that came out was that I could literally start any character and pretty much just go anywhere where we left off. So what I'm doing now is I think we left off right at the beginning of Gold Zones. That's why I'm in Oradon at the moment. And I think we left off right after you land at Haven in the little port of Haven in Grotwood. I think that's like literally as far as we got as a couple. So I'm kind of just running through. I already did Canarthy's Roost, and now I'm running through and doing Oradon to kind of just get a few levels. Because yeah, you're right. I could have just went up to where she was. I'm not really that huge on finishing a bunch of stuff on this character. Excuse me, because it's like, what does it matter, right? Like, I already have... I've already done all the story. I'm not even really paying attention to story too much at this point, just because I've already gotten to that point. Like, I don't... Oh, the door's firmly sealed from the other side. Oh, I can't even get in there. That kind of sucks. So I'm not really caring too much that I haven't done it. I gotta blow my nose. I apologize for this, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so Ark, how have you been doing? Let's go ahead and just jump right on into our tales then. What have you been up to?
What do you think?
Legends?
I still haven't gotten back into Elder Scrolls, unfortunately. Hello?
Oh, I'm here. I had to blow my nose and I threw the tissue across the room, and I did not make it into the trash can, so that's unfortunate. Have you been playing any Legends lately?
No, actually not.
Really?
I mean, I don't get much chance to play Legends because I'm either at work or in front of my actual computer. So
yeah,
between the two, Legends don't really get some playtime. I mean, I used to play Legends back when I still had classes, and I used to play it during the class, obviously. But since then, I don't know. I mean, I don't do any mobile gaming at all. And it is as you are, like, if I'm on my PC, I don't play Legends.
Yeah.
Because I have a whole lot of options to play instead.
Right. There's no way I would play Legends if I was on my PC. And that's actually one of the reasons why I never really jumped into Legends when it was first off. Like, people were on there, they were doing different stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not jumping into it until it goes on my phone. Because once it's on my phone, I could do it while I'm, like you said, at work or, on break or whatever. I could just jump in or, stuck in traffic, whatever the case may be. There's things I could do that, I couldn't do before. But now, yeah, if I'm on my PC, there's no way I'm playing Legends. I mean, it's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but if I'm on my PC, I'm going to be playing ESO or Dark Souls or something along those lines. Yeah. I'm not going to be playing a card game. It lends itself well to the mobile gaming, and that's what I use it for. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well,
yeah, I mean, I've been playing Dark Souls, so.
Oh well, that's always fun. Are you doing 1 or? I saw your stream. You were on 3.
Yeah, I'm doing 3.
Okay.
It's frustrating.
It was actually funny. I started with 1 the other day, and since I'm new to it as well, just something to stream, because for whatever reason I didn't feel like doing ESO that night. Mm-hmm. So I did. I had Dark Souls 1, and I bought it on a Steam sale a long time ago, right? Just a long time ago. Never really did anything with it, because apparently I found out that I was trying to play it with like mouse and keyboard. And that's just like a big no-no because it was a console game that was very badly ported over to PC. So I got an Xbox 360 controller or whatever that works for your PC, and I've been playing it on that, and I got farther than I did. And the stream chat was keeping track of all my deaths, and I'm like up to 5 deaths, and I just got done
I gotta
with
get the same thing as well. People wanted it, but like the one thing I tried to implement real quickly didn't work as exactly as we wanted it. So
yeah, as soon as you find out like a mod or something that'll do it, that'd be great. Because I know people were asking if I had one, and we had some people in chat just keeping track. It was very depressing actually, but yeah. I need to get one for the overlay because I have a nice overlay now, and I want to keep that going, but. The overlay I have doesn't have that built in because it's not a Dark Souls overlay. It's just generic. Yeah. It's just for whatever I'm playing. So, yeah. But I definitely
if we get too much into Dark Souls, we could do a Dark Souls podcast as well.
We probably
or
could.
at least, I don't know, a show or something.
Yeah.
Since it fits the theme.
It does.
It fits the theme. Dungeon crawler.
Oh, Dark Souls definitely fits. It definitely fits, and I've been having fun with 1. I need to get back into it, but I've been kind of waiting because it's like, I want to do it, but at the same time, I have some other stuff to do. The Ashes of Creation alpha, that's been going on. And then, of course, playing ESO a lot, streaming that, doing stuff with the guildies there. I want to get back into it, but I want to get that death counter going, because I think that'll be fun for people to laugh at me for. So, Ooh, getting lots of messages, which is awesome. All right. So let's go ahead, and I guess I'll talk about my tales. Let's talk about Legends first. So I've been still trying to put together the strength willpower build. I don't know why I like it so much. I do. I don't know about you. Do you feel like when you were playing that strength willpower was kind of weak, which is, the red, yellow?
Not really. I mean, I think strength willpower is a good combination. Willpower has a lot of spell types.
Yeah,
or buff types, and then strength, obviously, it's
Nords, Nords and Orcs. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun.
And again, I use strength endurance for whatever reason. I don't know.
Well, that one's good too, but I mean the deck that's called Warriors of Hammerfell is red blue, which is strength intelligence, I guess, and that seems to work really well, because a lot of the red guards, the blue have a lot of items. So, you use items, and when you put an item on a red guard, they just get buffed up, high heaven or not.
Red guards go crazy with items.
Yeah, Nords tend to be that more berserker style, you know what I mean? They have high attack or whatever, or charge or whatever. They're meant to get in there quick, but they're not overall great. I guess my issue is, there is one thing I love from the willpower, and that is the Adric Spear, which is literally the 5-cost kill anything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that thing is
a game saver.
Oh, game changer. Oh, it is. Oh, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And hello, SDTLC. Hello. Welcome. It is a game changer. It's so powerful if you can get it. I often hold them for a very long time. I won't waste them on a lot of stuff. But here's the deck that I really don't enjoy it's so powerful because it's so hard to get through is it's normally the green and purple, I think it is. So agility, endurance.
I hate anything green. I used to hate green in Magic the Gathering as well. Playing against green was a nightmare. And it still is a nightmare in Elder Scrolls Online as well. Elder Scrolls Legends.
It is, because with the green, one of their big things is lethal, and of course the stupid freaking Khajiits and their pilfer. Oh my goodness, I hate green. Green is I hate, anytime I see a green, I'm just you dirty. Yeah. I do.
You put down a 12-12 card.
Yeah.
And he just comes along with a 1/1 lethal and kills it.
And that's and that's the thing that's kind of annoying to me, okay? Because with the willpower, right, you have that game changer, which is the Adric Spear, right? Mm-hmm. But a lethal card can do the exact same thing. You just have to wait on a turn. So I guess the only counterplay is whether or not you had something to destroy it before it gets a turn. But it's a card that can do... You can have more than 3 of them, and they cost hardly anything to put on your deck, right? That's kind of my issue, is that the green has so many of these just kill cards that make it so hard to jump into. I hate green. I really do. I hate green cards. And anytime I fight against those, I tend to really just get upset, because my Nord cards don't seem to be all that powerful. The other deck I used to play is Willpower Endurance. The in-game deck, they named it, that you get just from playing the story, was called Imperial Might, because it's a lot of low damage willpower cards, like Imperials. They're literally just Imperials. Low damage, 1/1, just crap like that. But a lot of it has to do with other characters. It's anytime you summon them, a character, give it 1/1, and you can buff entire lines. I've laid down doing a horn. I did what was it, the Imperial Regiment or whatever, that fills an entire lane with 1/1s. Yeah. Well, I had an Imperial Arms Master that added a 1/1, so my entire line of 1/1s became 2/2s, and then I did a horn, which gave them 2/2 for a turn, so they became a full line of 4/4s. That's like 16 damage in one shot. Like, it's just insane how you can buff those.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a board cleaner at that point, you just resign. There's no point trying to fight that.
You're right. Yeah, without a board cleaner, it's like or at least a very, very high endurance guard card. Yeah, you're done. Like, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, it does suck. It really does suck. And I enjoy that build, but again, it requires the right amount of cards at the right time. Like, you can really. It's not powerful unless you have the right lineup, and you have to make sure they don't clear the cards out for you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to set up your deck or your line, and then someone does a board clear and wipes you out, like, especially if you're doing like your cards that give health and damage on summon, and they wipe them out, well, that's an early wipe for you. You know what I mean? Because without those buffer cards, you're not going to have a chance to actually utilize it to the full strength. So, yeah, definitely that kind of sucks. But I've been trying to build this strength willpower deck, because I want it to work. That's just kind of the play style I have. But right now, just the Nords don't seem all that powerful. Not enough to really make me go, yeah, this is awesome.
Well, maybe you should just buy some, I don't know, card boxes, card decks.
Well,
Just your chances with the loot.
Well, I'm not too worried about that. What I have to do is I have to buy the Dark Brotherhood expansion yet, but I'm kind of trying to do it all with in-game gold, just to get it, because it's like 1,000 gold per chapter. So I've been doing the dailies. Yeah. And I'm not in a real rush. I just crafted Volendrung, which is the legendary card that allows you to, like, essentially equip a bunch of people with, like, a really powerful weapon that adds breakthrough and stuff like that. It's really powerful. It's kind of like the linchpin of the deck. And so I didn't have it, so I had enough soul gems that I crafted it, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm excited. Definitely excited to try that out, but I still need to fill out the rest of the deck. So there's a few cards, like I said, that you just get from doing Dark Brotherhood. Like, they're like what is it, the Midnight Brawler or something like that. It's something simple, but you actually get it just in the story, so I just got to unlock it. So I'm slowly making my way through that and trying to get that done. Because like the idea of the willpower strength deck is purely just overwhelming your guy right off the bat, because a lot of Nords have charge, a lot of damage. Like the Nord Trooper is like a 6/2 card, so yeah, it's fragile.
One hit and go.
Yeah, it's fragile, but man, if you can get that hit off, it's good. It's real good. So I don't know. There's that. All right, so let's see. That was my Legends playthrough. Not a whole lot. I'm still working on things with Legends. It's really just me logging in every day, doing at least one quest to make sure that I always have an open spot for the next day. So I get coins, and once I have the coins, I'm going to unlock the Dark Brotherhood story and just go through that. But yeah, that's kind of. I
don't have much to talk about Legends, unfortunately, like Nate, because I don't play it. But yeah, it is what it is. Maybe one day.
Yeah, Nate just adores Legends. He's in it like constantly, which is awesome. So I can't wait to see when Nate gets on, because he always has some awesome Legends to tell me, and he often often sends me messages going, "Hey, I got this done or this done," and sending me screenshots of some poor guy who's about ready to get crushed. I think he sent me one the other day where he had like 60 some health. I don't even know how that's possible. The guy had 3 health.
I don't know why.
Nothing on the bar. And Nate had every single lane filled, and they were like 12 of 12 cards. He's like, "You think this guy's gonna win?" I'm like, "Oh, that's devastating." Oh,
That's not winning. That's humiliating it.
Yeah, that was sad. The guy's like has no cards left, nothing on the field. Nate has like a full hand. All the decks are full with like these buffed up cards. He has like 60 health. It's like, that's one of those games where you're just like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not playing anymore tonight. This is not happening. So, yeah. So there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into my ESO tales, because I do have a lot to talk about there. Obviously, right now, you'll see I'm playing my little Argonian. He's a Nightblade. I'm actually kind of... Well, I'm role-playing him the way that I role-play a game, right? Like, I don't sit in taverns and do that crap, but he is a Shadow Scale. I'm going to take him through the Dark Brotherhood and do the Shadow Scale stuff, because... yeah, that's what he is. In my head canon, he is a Shadow Scale.
Well, lore question coming up.
Okay.
Shadow Scales, like, serve Sithis as well, like Dark Brotherhood do.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything to do with Dark Brotherhood. Yeah, they're like a separate faction.
Not really. Essentially, what they are is this. Shadow Scales are not really a separate faction of the Dark Brotherhood. They're just a group that actually is what they call themselves when they enter. Every Saxhleel, which is the Argonian name for themselves, that is born under the sign of the serpent, or is it serpent or shadow? I can't remember.
Shadow. It's probably shadow, since Shadow Scales.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's serpent or shadow, but any Argonian born under that sign is immediately given to the Dark Brotherhood. Like, from birth. They don't join. They are immediately given. Like, if they're born under that sign, they are immediately inducted into the Dark Brotherhood. So it's kind of like an elite group within the Dark Brotherhood. They're not their own faction, but they call themselves Shadow Scales. And I'm sure that the Dark Brotherhood, especially in Black Marsh, has, a squad that's literally called the Shadow Scales. That's only of Argonians. But yeah, any Argonian born under that certain sign is immediately given over from birth. They're not raised at home. They're just given over at birth to serve the Dark Mother and Sithis.
Nice.
Yeah. So since he's a Nightblade, he is going to be a Shadow Scale. Now, he's a Magicka Nightblade, and my wife, she loves Argonians for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's weird. But because she loves Argonians, I figured she would enjoy adventuring with an Argonian for when we get to play. In fact, actually, I think when she gets on, I have to buy some crowns on her account and give her a race change, because she's going to race change away from Breton, and she's going to make an Argonian.
Oh yeah, I remember she always wanted to do that.
Right.
Back when it wasn't an option.
Yes, she had stopped playing before it actually became an option. So now she's looking to reinstall the game, and she wants to play, because she's like, you've been playing a lot. I think it'd be fun to play with you on stream some nights since you've been playing it. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because we haven't really been playing any games together. The only other game we've really been looking forward to do together is Ashes of Creation, but that's still 2 years out or longer. So, and she's not an alpha tester. She doesn't enjoy that. Even when I got her into like the beta for ESO, she logged in, looked around a little bit, and went, okay, I kind of figured out what I got, and that was it. Whereas I spent hours testing. She kind of logged in and did this. She's like, I don't really want to play, because I don't like the idea of my character going away. I want it to be permanent, and so she won't play any alphas or betas or anything.
Yeah,
weird
that's
like
understandable, though.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's just the type of player she is. She didn't want to do that, so here we go. So yeah, I've been playing this guy. I think I'm gonna go Magicka Nightblade, which is weird. I don't think I've ever done that before, but that seems to be pretty popular nowadays. So
I wouldn't know. The only thing I played is a Dragon Knight, and just a bit of Sorcerer. But that was for role-play reasons, so yeah.
Right.
I miss my Magicka Dragon Knight.
Magicka Dragon Knight?
Yeah.
I need to...
The one that they destroyed after the stamina changes. So I can't tank as a Magicka Dragon Knight anymore. But I miss it.
Understand. Yeah. That's a shame. All right. So that's this guy. I've been playing him, and I did him on the stream the other night when Esteldi and I did a... Excuse me, my nose has been running like crazy. But we did a kind of laid-back podcast for our Dungeon Crawlers podcast, which will be coming out this week as well. So if you aren't signed up to see that on iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher Radio, definitely consider going out and subbing up to that. It's been a few weeks since we've actually done a show, and yeah, I'm excited about it. I gotta blow my nose again. Dear heaven above. Excuse me 1 second. Ark, why don't you talk for a second?
Alright, well, I'm talking for a second, although I have no idea what to talk about because it was in the middle of your tales. But just to make time pass, are you going to talk about your Dark Brotherhood tales, I wonder?
Yes, I am, and I'm back. Thank you. And I made it into the thing this time, which is pretty cool. Yes, actually, that's a lot of my tales is going to be Dark Brotherhood. Because I made it all the way through.
I was thinking I wouldn't listen you talk about it because I haven't played it, but then I thought, you know what? I'll just listen to it because at this point, if I keep not playing the game like this,
you'll forget by the time you play.
Yeah, and we will never be able to talk about any tales from this point on with any of the new DLCs.
True.
So I thought, okay, spoilers are fine, and I'm really curious about what is your problem with the quest.
Well, my rant. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and just jump into this. All right, I'm gonna hold off here. So remember where I left off the last time? I was going after that Scipio gentleman, which I was really excited about that they used the name Scipio because it was really big in Roman. In Roman history, the name Scipio. So I thought that was really neat, and it was an interesting quest because you actually have to go to I think it's Anvil Castle or it's one of the castles because he's actually a very high-ranking member, and so you go talk and you go in there, and of course the love of my life at the time. This is gonna hurt. Hopefully I don't cry too much. I find Mirabella there, right? She's acting as a servant, doing her own little thing, and it's pretty neat. I get to talk to her. Even though it's my mark, my target, she's like, I'll help you out, right? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some idea of the castle, because I've been posing as a servant girl here for many, 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 a month, a year, whatever, however long. Mm-hmm. So you talk to her, and so after you kill Scipio, right? You go in and you kill him, and this was given to you by the pirate queen herself, Fortunata, right? So she gave you this. Yeah. So you go and kill him, and then midway through, after you're done killing him, he is like the general of the Hour of the Order Glass, and you make your way through the castle again, and you stumble upon the Count, who is also a member of the Order of the Hourglass, performing a dark sacrament. And it's funny because you get there, and he's in the middle of his dark sacrament, and you're you show up, and the speaker shows up, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Because the speaker's there or the listener is there, I guess. Is he the listener or the speaker? I think he's the listener.
The guy at the first that gives us the quest first.
Yeah.
He's the speaker.
Tenebrous. He shows up, and he's like, "Huh, funny to see you here." It's like, well, I was kind of in the building already, doing the last dark sacrament, here we go. And in a clever turn of play, this guy is performing a dark sacrament to kill Fortunata, who gave you... And of course, Tenebris is like, yeah, we don't care. You know, like we're doing what we're doing, right? And it's like, okay, you performed your contract. You worked for Fortunata. You did what she needed. And now there's another one who is to kill her. So we align with her, or with him. We accept the quest. And of course, he's like, well, since you're already here, I'm giving the contract to you. You know, it's like, awesome. All right. So that's where I make it back to the castle, and that's where I meet Mirabella, right? So I kind of jumped ahead a little too far. So Mirabella happened after that, and she's a little upset. It's like, what, just because you happened to be there, the speaker gave this to you? Fine, whatever, but I'll give you what knowledge I have. And she tells you that, well, one of the easiest things to do would be to poison her wine. And, of course, you can be like, well, you know, why don't I just go up and stab her in the face, right? Like that, why not? And she's like, well, you could do that, but why go through all the trouble when you can make the poison work for you? So you sneak through, which is pretty fun because you actually do have to sneak through the entire castle trying to avoid detection.
Which I wasn't able to do with my bulky Nord. So I had to kill everyone in the way.
Yeah. I mean, well, it happens. It happens. But so I went in and I did that because, of course, I'm a stamina Templar, so I'm wearing medium armor, so I get all the stealth bonuses. It was pretty easy. Even though I'm technically wearing 511, I have enough of the passives that I'm a really good stealth character. So it's whatever. Even with a two-handed weapon, I'm still a good stealth character. And of course, the line of streams was called the Murder Hobo series because that's what I was doing. So I go in and I sneak through this entire castle. It was great. I don't think I killed anybody. Maybe a couple people, not many. I sneak through and I poison the wine. And of course, then I meet her and she assumes you're there to talk about the contract that you just completed. So she's like, okay, that's cool. Come and meet me on my balcony. And I'll bring some wine. And she calls to the Mirabella, the servant girl who happens to be there. Said, bring some of my wine up and something significantly less expensive for our friend here.
I remembered that. I was so angry at that.
I know. I'm like, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. I'm like, you know, for once I was a little upset, and then I was like, oh wait, yeah, that's right, I poisoned that. All right, cool. Good. I didn't really want to drink that anyway. I hear it's a bad vintage. So I'm going through, I'm doing my thing, happy day, right? Like, yeah, it's great. And we go up, and of course she goes to drink her wine, and I'm standing there, I'm drinking my wine, and she starts choking. She's like, what's this? And there, of course, Mirabella is going, you know, she's like, Mirabella, what are you here for? She's like, well, yeah, you know, that you're here to die. And it's funny because she's on this balcony overlooking this seaside cliff, and she's like holding her throat. She's going back. Mirabella pushes her right off the edge. Just like, and there she goes, right off the edge. I'm like, I have never been so turned on right now, like, in my life. She is so freaking hot. And then I'm, of course, worried that she's going to, you know, kill me. But, you know, that my token phrase of she scare rouses me, right? Because, dear heaven, I love Mirabella. So, where am I at? All right, so pushed off the ledge. Okay, here's... Okay. All right. As you see on my next... If you could see my notes here, right? Like, so freaking anger at Dark Revelations quest. Rawr! Streamed it. So angry. Okay. So the next quest, after you kill Fortunata and, you know, you do your thing, now the Dark Brotherhood has moved you on to finding out who's been killing all of these members of the Dark Brotherhood. Yeah. Because they've been hunting down. And actually, this is something I forgot about, right? Because the Count who we did the Dark Brotherhood quest for to kill Fortunata says he has information on who the Black Dragon is, and if we do it, we'll get it. Well, again, it was given to me, and Mirabella is pissed, and I wasn't really sure why she was so pissed. Well, it turns out at the very beginning, remember how you found Sinbar, who was like pinned to the wall or whatever, and he was tortured and killed? I forgot, because when you first do the introduction, that's her lover, who she's like, oh, I'll mess around with you. Yeah. Well, apparently, I forgot who that was because I kind of wondered where he went after the first quest where he introduces himself. And, you know, obviously he was just a stumbling block on my way to Mirabella, so I really didn't pay too much attention to him. And he was gone. Well, here he was dead because I just didn't put two and two together. I only found this out afterwards. So, of course, she is so pissed off that I was yet again given another thing that she felt should be hers because, of course, she wants to avenge her lover. And she talks to me, right? And she's like, you know, I'm really upset about this. And she kind of bears her soul. And it comes out to the point where she's like, you know, don't tell the matron mother about me because if you do, whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, you actually have to go talk to Staria, the Dark Brotherhood matron.
Yep.
And you actually have an option on whether or not you want to rat on her and say, yeah, she's kind of losing her mind here. But I'm thinking in my head, I'm not going to do that because I want to score some brownie points and maybe get in this girl's armor, right? So I don't. I just go,
see,
yeah.
the sanctuaries go down because of people like you. You always put the sanctuary and the Dark Brotherhood's well-being first.
Oh, hold on. It gets better. It gets better. All right. So I'm thinking I'm gonna score some brownie points here. You know, maybe get a little down tonight. You know, with the dirty murderous chick. Like I was really excited about this. So I'm going ahead and I'm doing my thing. I get through the Dark Brotherhood and I'm doing the quest and I'm making my way through this entire the Order of the Hourglass sanctuary, and I am stealthing it like you wouldn't believe. I am not killing anybody. I am like, I'm gonna be really stealthy. We're gonna take this out. We're gonna find out who the Black Dragon is, and we're gonna sneak out. Well, okay, so I do that. I get all the way to the end, and of course Mirabella's there. She's like, I'm gonna help you regardless of whether or not you care one way or the other. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know, we'll find this person, we'll kill him, and then we'll be happy. You know, we'll run off together. It'll be great. So we get up to that point, and I sneak up into where we get to the room of where she is. Okay, and I find a lady standing outside. She's in like librarian robes, and she's like, "Don't kill me, blah blah blah. I know why you're here, and you know I've been working so long with the Black Dragon that I could show you where she's at if you don't kill me." Of course, you don't have any other option, so you say, "Sure, why not?" Right? So you go in and you accept. So you walk into the room, and no one's there. And of course, there comes Mirabella. She's standing on like this balcony, like above the room, going, "It's about time you got here. I'm about ready to set up an ambush." And she's like, "Wait, who's that with you?" And all of a sudden, you get knocked in the back of the head and knocked unconscious, or knocked like so you can't move. And she starts laughing. She starts laughing at you, and all of a sudden, she disappears. Appears up behind Mirabella and impales her on a sword and holds her over the ledge and then like drops her off. She kills her. I was so freaking pissed. I'm like, no! Yeah, just up and just kills her like right there where you're and it wasn't like the old style of killing, right? Where it's like, oh, they stab and they go and they fall over. No, she's freaking impaled on both blades. The lady who led me in, she was the Black Dragon.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. If I recall correctly, I ratted Mirabelle out to the matron on that when I was given the choice, because I was like, okay, this mindset isn't healthy for the mission. She is going to either get me killed or get herself killed, whatever. But I don't think I've done any further than that, so I don't know if she actually survives if you rat her to the matron. You know,
and that's funny you say that, because I started to wonder that myself, going, if I had ratted her out, would she be alive now? Like, and I'm definitely going to have to do that on another character and, like, rat her out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try that with my European character.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just open my North American character and continue where I left off to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
Oh, I was livid on the stream. I was so pissed. I went on a murder rampage, the likes of which you have not seen. Like, I think I went balls to the wall. By the time I was done, I had 157,000 gold bounty. I killed I think they counted like 172 different people. I went nuts. And I actually had to use my the thing I got from doing the Thieves Guild quest that removes like 100,000 bounty, and still had a bunch of bounty on me. I was livid. I killed every single living thing, man, woman, child, dog, kitty in that building. I was pissed. Oh, I'm so pissed. So my Mirabella, she's dead, and I'm so upset. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like,
technically, you got her killed.
I was so pissed. That's my anger right there. That's why I was like, I am so freaking mad right now. So I got to give it to Zos. They did a really good job with.
When I read this, when I saw much freaking anger at Dark Revelations quest, when I read this thing on the show notes, I thought, okay, I guess there's some sort of like lore problem there, or something that doesn't make sense, and he is angry again because there's a lore problem and it's not right, and that's why he's angry. But yeah. I didn't expect it to be because an NPC got killed.
Oh yeah, no, it was specifically because she got killed. I am so angry about this. I'm still angry about this. Okay,
I can tell.
Okay, it gets better. It gets even freaking better. All right. I gotta say, the Dark Brotherhood story is probably... I said how Hrothgar was really good. Like, Hrothgar's zone's amazing, and I really like the story, but Dark Brotherhood... Dark Brotherhood may be my favorite now. Like... You know what?
Do you have more Dark Brotherhood tales after this?
Yes! There's more!
Right now, I feel like just going on, opening the game and doing the Dark Brotherhood quest line now. So I might actually not listen to the rest of this.
Okay, yeah, it's so freaking good. I guess if you want to mute up, I will go over my tales, I guess, and I can always just send you a message when I'm done.
Let's do that actually. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so he's going to mute himself up so he doesn't hear any of this, because the Dark Brotherhood story is really freaking good. So anyway.
Hold on, before I go, this may have been the one thing that I needed to get back into Elder Scrolls Online, actually. This may have been that little fire, that spark right here,
dude,
right now.
Well, before you go mute, you were saying how much you love the Dark Brotherhood from, like, Oblivion. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, dude. I haven't played the Oblivion one. I played the Skyrim one. It was okay. This one got me freaking hooked. I'm not normally a big Dark Brotherhood fan, like, as you know. Oh, but it's now... I honestly think this is my favorite DLC. It goes back and forth between Hrothgar, just because of how good Hrothgar was, and the political intrigue that surrounded Hrothgar. Oh, but Dark Brotherhood is so much... Oh, it's so good. It's so freaking good. Yeah, I'm actually going to go all the way to the end of the Dark Brotherhood thing, so you may be muted for a while.
Okay, I'm going to leave the call. Just let me know.
I'll call you back when we're ready to go. Okay, right. That sounds good. Okay. All right. So, back to the story at hand. So after Mirabella is like brutally taken away from me, and I'm of course all pissed about this, right? About who this lady is. I'm just determined to kill this person. In fact, I think I even used a less than colorful language in chat and saying how I was going to go kill this particular lady. It may rhyme with witch, and I don't know. You can do what you want there. But I was so pissed, just so freaking pissed. So the next quest that finishes, she's dead. I'm sad, like really sad, really, really, really sad. And I go back and I get the next quest. So we need to find out the origins of this lady. The thing that we kind of found out was that she was once a member of the Dark Brotherhood. So we find out actually what her name was, and I can't remember the name, and the name's not super familiar right now because it's just an NPC name. But when you take it back, it turns out that Green Venom Tongue, one of the Argonians, shadow scales that are there, remembers her and saying that he was once part of a sanctuary in Shadowfen that she was a part of before the purification. Now, I'm going to get into the purification here in a second. So he was tasked with finding out more about her, and when you finally do get up to that point, he's like, we're going to go back and we're going to find my old sanctuary. And when you go to find the old sanctuary, you're like, should we tell the matron? And he's like, no, we're not telling her that we're going back. Well, this is what happened to Green Venomtongue's sanctuary. It went through something known as a purification. And when you ask him about that, he was apparently away from the sanctuary when the purification happened. But the members of the Black Hand are the ruling members of the Dark Brotherhood, dictated that there was something so wrong within the Dark Brotherhood organization itself that every single member needed to die. All right? Like, they had to kill everyone. Because apparently they said a systemic infection throughout the Dark Brotherhood, and everyone in that sanctuary had to die. And it turned out that the person who did all the killing was a lady known as the Black Dragon, or became known as the Black Dragon. So you're going back in through this zone, in the Dark Brotherhood, and you find out that the reason, like, she's just insane. She's killing everybody in the sanctuary. And this leads you all the way back to Anvil itself, right? Where she goes to escape as she makes her way to a different sanctuary. And this is where she actually meets the Primate of Akatosh, the leader of, or one of, he was a high-ranking member, but he's actually the leader of the Order of the Hourglass, who finds her and essentially converts her to the belief in Akatosh. So she renounces Sithis, and he's essentially using her as a tool to hunt down and kill all the rest of the Dark Brotherhood. So she's this misguided character. So you're going in and you're trying to find this. You find this Green Venomtongue, and he sends you off, finds out who it is, and he tracks down where the Black Dragon is. So, of course, this was his mission. Like, he was given this mission to go kill her because she was once part of her sanctuary. We were sent along as insurance to make sure that he did his job, because the matron felt that he was too close to the situation. I guess that's the best way to say it. He was too close to the situation to effectively make sure she's dead. So we had to go and make sure that Green Venomtongue goes and does what he needs to do. All right? So I'm sitting there going, fine, whatever. We'll be the lackey and we'll go fine. So we're sneaking through the ruins of this old, what used to be the old Hour of the Order Glass sanctuary before it moved into Anvil itself, back when they first started. And that's where she's been taking up and being her abode. Well, we go up to make our way all the way through, which, by the way, there's all these undead, which is really surprising to me. But anyway, I don't really know the idea behind that. But the entire time that you are going through this area, all right, there is something known as the Wraith of Civis. Like, because he's talking about this childhood story that anyone who betrayed the Dark Brotherhood, the Wraith or the Wrath of Sithis would find them and destroy them. So while you're making your way through this, there is this ghostly Wraith that is just ahead of you. It is so freaking creepy. Like, this Wraith is right ahead of you the entire time. And even Green Venomtongue's like, did you see that? Like, what in the heck is this thing? So you are like, fine. You're making your way through. You're going to find this lady. And when you do, okay, you get up to her room. Green Venomtongue was stabbed through the belly too. He dies. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, I tried my best to to stop her, but I couldn't do it. She's just too strong, and it's now up to you. You have to stop her. She ends up killing Green Venom Tongue as well. I'm like, how in the world is this lady doing this? So, of course, you go into the deepest, darkest recesses of this cave, right? This cave was the founding of this area, and there's a very old statue of Akatosh as a dragon. It's actually the image you see, that I see almost every time I load in. It's a stone dragon, and when I first saw it, I'm like, that's, is this Skyrim based? It's actually meant to represent Akatosh inside this cave. So I go, and we fight her to the death, right? So we end up killing the the black dragon, right? But before she dies, the Wraith of Civis actually captures her, grabs her, and drags her down to Oblivion, or wherever in creation she's at now. And it was so creepy because she's literally like screaming in pain, going, no, don't let it take me, don't let it take me. And oh my goodness, it was so creepy. So freaking creepy. So this leads us to one of the final aspects of the Dark Brotherhood, all right? This leads us to the point in the story where we have to go after the Primate itself. We realize that essentially through her, he was able to eliminate his old master and become the leader of the Order of the Hourglass. So we go in, and the part of the thing is actually the entire Dark Brotherhood, because they're amassing an army to take us out. She already knows where our hideaway is. She's amassing an army, and she's going to destroy us. Well, we're going to strike first. So we go ahead, we charge in, and we make our way through the entire citadel. And of course, I'm fueled by rage right now, like because of Mirabelle and of course Green Venom Tongue, because Green Venom Tongue is freaking amazing. I thought he was really cool as a character. So I go through and we just kill it. And we go and we actually attack this guy. He was actually very, very tough. He had this ability to have time magic, because of course Akatosh is the god of time, and he's able to freeze time and stop time. Oh, it was actually insanely difficult in order to finish this quest. But when you do, okay, when you do actually finish this quest, it is probably the most brutal I've ever seen this game ever, okay? Because after you defeat him, he's kneeling over going, I know when I'm defeated, it's over. And the quest says, execute him, all right? So you go up to him. You literally tap him on the shoulder. He turns around. You grab his staff out of his hands and impale him, Vlad the Impaler style, on his staff. And he's impaled on this staff, dripping blood down the staff on the floor. I was like, because I'm doing this on stream going, what the heck just happened here? And oh, it was so freaking brutal, and I loved it, every second of it. It was amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. So, that actually officially ends the story of the Dark Brotherhood, okay? And what's really cool is when you make it back to the Sanctuary, you're like, we're saved, blah, blah, blah. And the entire group that's still alive is there, and they hail you as the Silencer. You are now the Silencer of the Dark Brotherhood. And of course, the way they end every speech is Hail Sithis. Well, when they do it, every single voice says Hail Sithis, but you hear this weird ethereal voice in the background doing it. Oh, it gave me chills, and it was so freaking awesome. Yeah, I can't gush over Dark Brotherhood enough. It is definitely one of my favorite DLCs they've done. It was so freaking good. So freaking good. But it's not quite over yet. Okay? So let me just say what happened next. This is the precursor quest that kind of led us into where we were heading next. Remember how every single one of the DLCs or whatever had a quest that kind of gave you hints about what was coming next? Well, there was a quest called the Sweet Roll Killer, which only activates after you finish the main story. This is the breadcrumb quest that led us to Morrowind, right? So, of course, you run into Naryu again, and she's flirting up a storm as Naryu does, all right? But my heart wasn't ready. That's what I have here, because I'm still hurt over Mirabella being dead. Now, all of a sudden, here's my other crush. She shows up, and she's flirting with you and stuff like that. In fact, actually, I took a few screenshots that I have to grab off my desktop. Let me just do that real quick. Show desktop. Can I show desktop? Show desktop. All right. Let's copy those over here. All right. All right. So let me go ahead and open one of these up. Sweet Roll. All right. So first off, to do the Sweet Roll Killer, you run into a guy named Raymond Menvevius, I think his name is. And this guy already has me a little like, what the heck is going on here? Because he's making me uncomfortable the way he's talking. And if you haven't got a chance to actually do this quest yet, I encourage you to do so. Excuse me a second, I apologize. I'm back. Sorry, had to blow my nose yet again. So, you're talking to this guy, and I actually took a screenshot of what was happening, right? And he goes, "My sincerest apologies. I didn't mean to offend you. I guess some people wouldn't be satisfied with all the gold in Anvil or my huge ... He's very suggestive, and even on stream, people are like, "What is going on here? Like, what game are you playing?" Because it's very, very suggestive. So that's the Sweet Roll Killer, and that starts you. So, of course, you run into Naryu again. And let me see here. And you're out looking for a person who gives people sweet rolls, and in the sweet roll is a note saying that essentially they're going to die. And everyone who's gotten one has died, right? So you're going through and you track down everyone, and one of the people who got a sweet roll is Naryu. And of course, she flirts with you as always because, you flirted before, but she's also realizes you're a Dark Brotherhood. She's Morag Tong. She's like, "Why'd you go ahead and join them? We're not necessarily friends, but, it's a shame because I really like you," kind of deal. And so there's this little bit of, I don't trust you, but I'm still going to be flirtatious and flirt with you. And you actually find out who the Sweet Roll Killer was. It actually was the guy who hired you. The only reason why he hired you, he was using the Sweet Roll Killer to get rid of competition and stuff. And essentially she went rogue. So he hires you to get rid of her, but she ends up killing him anyway. You find out who she is. And you go to find out she's actually part of a group called the Fate Bearers, who essentially believe they see all these different people, like what they can do or what they're going to do, and they're doing it for the betterment of the world. Like, apparently they're like, Naryu's daughter will cause unknown havoc to the world. So they tried to kill her, and she's like, "Well, I don't have a daughter." And I'm sitting there going, "Well, not yet." Anyway. You actually end up, you stop it, and she gives you hints about Morrowind. But she also says some very flirtatious things, and I took another screenshot of this because it was amazing. "Always a pleasure watching you work, hero. You never notice, but I come around and check on you from time to time. What can I say? You intrigue me. And one of those nights, I'll sneak into your room and... oh, purely for a social visit, I assure you." But in a very flirtatious way. I'm like... dude, I'm like biting my hand, like it's so hot. And when you finish, she's like, "I'll give you a kiss, but just one. If you want another one, or to continue where we left off, you have to come visit me in Morrowind." And that's where that quest ends. So I'm going to go ahead and pull Ark back in. Ark! Can you hear me, Ark?
Yes, I can. Can you?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. That take a lot of time.
I told you. We went through all the Dark Brotherhood, and you missed the best part, which I will say this because you're going to go do it. You actually get to see Naru again in the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah, I saw that in the notes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Because remember how every DLC up until now had a breadcrumb quest, a quest that kind of led you onto what the next DLC or gave you a hint of what the next DLC is. Well, that quest is called the Sweet Roll Killer. You can only do that quest once it only unlocks once you've finished the main story, right? So
which main story? Hold on.
The Dark Brotherhood main story.
Oh, okay. All
yeah. It won't appear until you do that. So, you know.
Well, in the meantime, here's what I did. I updated Elder Scrolls Online, and now I'm checking which character I should play the Dark Brotherhood quest with.
I'm very impressed. I'm very excited about this. I think you will very much enjoy the story. It is very, very good.
I guess I'm gonna play it with my... Oh, hold on, wait. Where's the Gold Coast? Oh, there it is. I think I'm gonna play it with my North American character just because I bought the DLC. Since my ESO Plus is inactive at the moment.
Yep.
But I have the DLC apparently on...
And I see you
North
logged
American
on.
sites. Yep, I did.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and Naru gets very flirtatious with you. She even offers you a kiss and says that...
Yeah, here's the problem.
Huh?
Here's the problem. You betrayed Naru for Mirabelle.
And
then you got her killed as well.
I know, and then...
Got her killed as well.
And that was what I was saying. I was so torn because then at the same time she's very flirtatious with me and this past love is now flirting with me like crazy and I'm like...
What are you going to do? Are you going to get Naru killed as well?
I better not. But anyway, she gives you a kiss and says if you want another one or, to continue where we left off, you'll have to meet me in Morrowind. That was the kind of the precursor to Morrowind.
Oh.
Yeah. You'll very much enjoy the Sweet Roll Killer. Make sure you still stick up with that.
I'm pressing all the wrong buttons now.
Yeah, because Naru gets you all excited.
My hotkeys, all my brain. My brain just can't get back to the Elder Scrolls settings. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So
hold on. I have a question.
Okay.
Have you started the Morrowind
expansion
yet? Finally.
I still have more to talk about. Like I told you, I've been playing the heck out of this. So of course then I have to do everything in order. So I went and I did the it's the Azura quest line you get. In order to, like, the precursor to Morrowind, when that came out, they gave you the Azura quest line, which really kind of gave you real hints. Like, they gave you one at the end of Dark Brotherhood, but they didn't really... They added that precursor quest that you could pick up that went out, like, a week before the actual thing came out. So, I'm sitting there doing my quest, doing my thing, and you find a prophetess of Azura who has visions and saying that you have to go, and this is funny because you actually have to go back to Stormhaven, that zone, and the Temple of Pariah Abbey. If you remember that from the Daggerfall Covenant story, that was a temple that was originally, I don't know who it was originally for, but it became a haven of Azura. Like there's a statue, like all those people are priestesses and priests of Azura. And you go there and find out that Azura, the priests are going missing. They're being captured. So you actually have to go and kill a few Daedric enemies to get these Daedric keys to open the ways to these pockets of oblivion so you can free these different priestesses. So you go and it turns out the person who you first meet, she also gets sucked in, but she has such clairvoyance, she knew this was going to happen and left a journal with hints of where the other people were. So you go and you have to go to all these different areas in these different delves and stuff like that in order to release these priests. So when you release the priests, you release all these different priests, and then they take you to a summoning circle where they were like, together we can have a vision of Azura, right? Like we can find out exactly where we have to go. And so you go there, you free them all, and I just died to a world boss. Because this character's not very strong. So you go and when you free them, they have a vision of Morrowind. They talk about Vivek losing his power. They talk about Sotha Sil and the Clockwork City. So, and then the vision disappears, and then you get the memento, the shard of Azara or whatever, so you can have that Azara pose, which I'm gonna do right now as soon as I can find it in my list. And you guys,
I haven't done that yet, so I don't have it.
The Twilight Shard,
amazing. Yeah.
And you become essentially this thing of Azura. Right here, you get the light of Azura, you got the moon, the star, yeah. And then that leads you to Morrowind. So I actually went through and did the whole quest for Morrowind. Not all of it. I just started, obviously. Oh, I have marked that yay Razumdar, because of course this is for the Sweet Roll Killer, and I forgot to say it, but Razumdar shows up too. So both you have Naryu and Razumdar? Oh, it's fantastic.
Wait, who was the character from Daggerfall that is like... I mean, Ebonheart Pact is Naryu.
Darian Gutierrez.
Oh, right, Darian Gutierrez. Right, yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he's not around. So, of course... this is actually another funny antidote. During the Sweet Roll Killer in Anvil, remember there's the statue of the maiden, which is like this half-naked mermaid or whatever? And Naryu, another female that is female elf that is part of Razumdar's eyes, and Razumdar sitting in this building, and Razumdar's just sitting there staring at the... So when you walk around the statue, there he is just staring at the statue, and Naryu's like, Roz, come on now, stop staring at the statue. You've been staring at it all day. And he goes, I'm just admiring the work. It's so shapely. And Naryu's like, oh, what is this cat always this bad? And the other girl's like, actually, this is one of his good days. And I love Razumdar. Like I love Razumdar.
I don't know. I haven't started like one quest in Aldmeri Dominion side. Because I just can't get myself to help the elves. Well, Altmer specifically, not the elves.
Do it for Razumdar. Seriously.
I can't. I tried.
Razumdar is worth all of it. He's the only one in the Aldmeri Dominion who's actually worth anything. But I mean, I can't help Queen Irene just because I want to hang out with Razumdar. That's not going to happen. I guess. All right, makes sense. He's Razumdar is pretty awesome though. I'm not gonna lie about Razumdar. Anyway, so I actually make my way into Morrowind, and I've been streaming this a lot. So anyone who's been here knows I've been streaming this and doing a lot of ESO. In fact, I'm probably going to do it later today after I'm done editing all these myriad of podcasts that I have to do. And I do. There's like 12 of them. So I'll probably be streaming later today. 12's not right, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 4
podcasts, eh?
Yes. I have 4 sitting that needs edited, so I'm got to work my way through it. So, of course, I'm doing all the different quests in Morrowind. I'm gushing over the fact that I got to see Vivek, and he's awesome, and I love him.
He is the divine lamp.
Yeah, yep, the magic hermaphrodite that glows. He's really cool. I love him. I do. I love him so much. So, I just can't get over it. Morrowind is amazing for me because it brings back so many freaking memories of just awesome. Like you have been playing Morrowind.
Yeah, the original one.
The original, and it's so good, dude. Like, so I'm like even doing like one of the very first barrows that I visit. ends up. It's so cool because one of the very first barrows was like one of the very first places I walk into. I even went into a delve that was a Quama mine that I specifically remember going into that Quama mine hunting the poachers in Morrowind in Elder Scrolls 3. It's so good. So I wish I had the map. Let me pull it up, see if I have it. So yeah, I do, even though I'm playing on this character. So I walk in and I clear out all of Seyda-Neen, right? I do all the Seyda-Neen quests, which is really cool because of course they make reference to the trunk, the tree with the ring in it in 3. The tree's still there, but it's like a full tree now. So you actually look inside of it. It's not a stump anymore, but there's still a hole in the tree that you can look into, which is really, really awesome. I like that. And of course, so it sends you off. There's 2 quests that send you off. One kind of sends you off to go see Vivek, and the other one sends you towards Zane's Saplu or whatever, which is the delve where that was a Quama nest. And you actually go in there, and there's a skooma dealer, right? Like, the skooma dealer has been growing skooma, or not skooma. He's been growing moon sugar in Vardenfell. So you find a lady, and she turns out to be like an undercover agent or whatever. They're trying to figure out how this guy was able to grow moon sugar in Vardenfell.
Oh yeah.
Because it's very temperamental and doesn't actually play well. And somehow through whatever agricultural methods that he has, he's been able to do it. So I go in, I find his recipes, I burn all that stuff, and then I turn him in because he's a dirty Khajiit. I know he's
that's actually one of the very beautiful delves as well in ESO.
It is. It is very pretty. I agree. I enjoyed it immensely. I discovered something or another. What did I discover? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm going to get there. So, yeah, I went through there, and then I make my way back, and I start doing... I do the quest for our good friend, Vivek, and he obviously is losing power. And again, oh my goodness, one of the first people you find out, you have to ask these questions, okay? And the questions are all, like, he's asking about this ancient threat, and he's asking about the Charmant. Like, he's asking about the events of Elder Scrolls 3. And the spirit's like, don't worry, it's not this. This hasn't happened yet. But this first thing that he jumps to is, I'm losing my power. Is the Nerevarine coming back? And it's like, not yet. And it's like, oh, whew, someone else. But it was a nice, like, I don't know if many people actually knew what was going on there. But that was a callback to Elder Scrolls 3. Because he was asking questions like, crap, is the Charmant awakening? You know, is Dagath stirring? And it's like, nope, not that. It's not this one. You're good. So, I don't know. I think that was super cool. So you go, you talk to him, and he sends you around on some various quests, and you have to go deal with his archmage or his archcanon or whatever he's called. And he hates you, obviously. But one thing that I really thought they did well was they aged him, right? Like, he was all hunched over. So the arch canon or whatever is this like really old looking dude. And I'm sitting there going, this is so cool that they did this, because I'm sitting there going, well, you know, all the old people, and like, at least in the original game, they didn't change the models. So they were old because they had gray hair, and that was it. Mm-hmm. You know? So that was cool. So after you do a couple of the quests, like in order to summon forth, you have to do a summoning ritual, so you have to get all these blessing stones. So you go get the blessing stone, and of course, one of the cantons collapsed. So they're like, if you help us get people out of here, we'll allow you to have our blessing stone. Fine. And then, of course, there's this one guy trying to lift a log, and I'm sitting there, and I do the little dig motif, so I'm like moving some dirt. I'm like, I'm glad to know me moving this little bit of dirt help this guy lift this giant beam, you know. But that little bit of dirt just was the straw that broke the camel's back, I see, you know. Anyway, whatever. Oh, I want to read that. Oh. So I go, I do what I need to do. We're happy. We've seen the world. And we get the stone, and we go in, and of course, when I do that, it's the vision we see tends to say, "Uh-oh, there's a problem," and of course, we have to go figure out where it's at. So they give us 3 different places to visit from the vision, because we saw 3 different visions, and he's like, each one of these seems to be from these different areas, like Balmora, all the different towns. So that's the mission at that point. It's like a 3-pointed quest that you have to, it's like, go investigate these areas, and then you do the quest in those areas, and they kind of lead you to, you know, where you need to go. So I make my way over, and I'm pulling up the map again, because of course it makes you go to Balmora. I think it takes you to Nisus, and then somewhere over here called Sadrith Mora. So I went over to Sadrith Mora to see all the mushroom towers, okay? And of course I also go into the Halls of Fabrication and talk to Divith Fur, because he's a fun individual. And I talk to him. I do some stuff in there. Yeah. And I do a bunch of quests around Sadrith Mora, including one with a slave who wants, or a guy who tries to buy a slave's freedom so he can marry her, and she hates him. So you have to, like, set him free, right? So I chose to set him free. And then I head south, and I went to a Dreadloth ancestral tomb. And I got to meet the one, the only Narcissus Dren again. Do you remember Narcissus Dren from Hrothgar? The Dunmer in glass armor who is hiding in the sarcophagus and who ends up like causing all these undead Draugr to descend upon the north.
It's familiar. Hold on. Why is it? Why can't I recall though? Narcissus Dren.
He's a fun individual. He's one of those. He's like, okay. Yep. Yeah. I'm so awesome. I'll put a footnote in my book or whatever. But yep. He's a scaredy cat or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So you go and you take care of him, and of course I found Elf Bretta, which when we talked about the hotties that we love, apparently Elf Bretta came up on it, and she's definitely cute. I can agree why people would like her, but she's like infatuated with Narcissus Dren. I don't know why, but she is. So yeah, found him again, and then I went in and I did. Hold on, I have to find out the name again. This is like the last thing I did in Morrowind. I did. How in the heck am I supposed to pronounce that name? It's the public dungeon, the Dwemer dungeon, because you're going to hunt for the Heart of Lorkhan in there. You
can. Nushlefthing,
whatever. Some random whatever of characters that Dwemer have. I went in there, I did that, and I got one of the shards for the pet. The pet you get in there, because you collect like 10 shards or whatever, you put them together and get that mini pet. So I got that. I got one of those. I need to go back in there and farm it eventually, but you know, I'll get to that point eventually. And that's kind of where I've been left off at this point in Morrowind. Oh, I completed I got the achievement for complete 100 Master Writs.
Oh.
So I've done that.
That's something I will never ever complete.
What, the Master Writs?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't do them?
No.
Oh.
When was the last time you saw me do anything crafting related?
This is true.
It takes a lot of patience.
This is true.
Which I don't have.
Well, it helps that I'm a 9 of 9 crafter. I have all the traits. Okay. Nothing really is. The only time I ever have any issue is if it says like, oh, we require you to do it in a style that I don't have. Well, I generally just go to the store and buy one. You know, the guild store and buy the page I need. And then I craft it, and then I get the writs. So that's kind of been my style there. But I've finished that achievement the other day, so that was really cool. Finally gotten 100 of those. That's kind of the end of my Tales, which an hour and a half.
A long time. Yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's move into the news that we had. So, Ark, why don't you go ahead and do this? Because I've been talking for an hour and a half now.
Yeah, I was just about to get into Elder Scrolls, and now you tell me to do the news. Well, there it goes. There it goes. I guess I won't play for another 2 months.
Oh, no,
It is
no.
what it is.
Just real quick, and then you can go play.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Alright, so we have one part of news that we want to talk about. It's a part from the Game Director letter, ESO, in 2017 and beyond. The article itself basically talks about what happened in 2017 in Elder Scrolls Online, like the Homestead going live, new DLCs, Morrowind expansion, community events, in-game events, all the things like that. But one section of it mentions the new DLC for 2018. I'm just going to read the part that is relative to us. We'll officially announce the first DLC of 2018 just after the first of the year. But here's a small preview. It's a dungeon-based DLC called The Elder Scrolls Online Dragon Bones. As the name implies, it is a North-based in theme, with each of the new dungeons expanding upon the lore of that region.
Fake news.
Hold on. We are gonna talk about this.
No, we're not. We're done. Show's over. Thank you for showing up, everyone.
Coming with the Dragon Bones is an update full of quality of life improvements and additions, including at least one long-awaited feature that everyone who cares about their characters' appearances will love, and the homestead storage items I talked about earlier. So, 2 things are confirmed here. One is long-awaited and long-wanted homestead storage items.
Yes.
Being able to store items in your houses.
Yes. Let's talk about that real quick, because I think that's fun. I know a lot of people are like, when the housing first came out, were disappointed with the fact that it was just cosmetic. It's so you could play, with the house, which, don't get me wrong, tons of fun. But a lot of the benefit of having a house in ESO or in the other Elder Scrolls games, and even some other MMOs, not really modern ones. Ultima Online had it. I actually can't think of additional storage in other games, to be honest. So maybe that is fairly new. I mean, not new, but no one has done storage for a house in a long time since like Morrowind, or not Morrowind, since like Ultima Online. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's more, but most modern MMOs, it's just aesthetics that you get houses for. But yes, storage. I know our very own Glistener, that was one of his big complaints, was I buy a house and I get no storage. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, you have a house, you can put all the chests inside visually, but you can't store anything in them, technically. It didn't make sense, and I'm glad they are actually bringing this now. Which, as we talked about this a lot of times. These are just data.
Yes.
That don't take any space at all.
Yes.
So basically, there is no reason, like efficiency-wise, at least, that they shouldn't bring this on. But seeing them finally do this, it's going to be good.
Yes, I know a lot of people are excited, including us. We're excited for that because I finally have a house that I've still not done anything in. Like seriously, I've not done anything. I really need to sit down and like plan out what I want to do. I'm such a planner with things that it's like I need to sit down. I need to draw the house out and then like design like this is going to be this room and this is going to be this room before I start just throwing stuff in there all willy nilly. That's just generally how I am.
Yeah.
But now at least my house will have some sort of purpose.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So the other part is, obviously, the character customization related update, which they don't mention what it is. But
it has to be a transmog system. I don't know what else.
It has to be.
Yeah. It makes no sense if it was anything else. Like, they've been talking about this, having a type of wardrobe system in the game for a while. They said they're working on it. They weren't ready to talk about it at any point in time yet. And now, we did say about the fact that they would need to do something in the future. Like, when we were talking about DLCs. Like, I think it was last that we'd have a chapter where, like, well, the next one, they always do a dungeon thing, which normally has some sort of quality of life item, right? And then the chapter, the zone, and then, you know, the dungeon pack or whatever. Actually, I think I'm a little confused at this one with the dungeon pack, because they're adding that in. But yeah, that seems a little early. So it's nice to know that that is what they're doing with the next DLC, which I guess is this quarter coming up, right? First quarter. Yeah, probably by March of 2018.
Yeah, apparently it'll hit PTS like very early 2018. So probably in the like first couple of weeks of January, we might actually get the DLC in PTS, and we might actually get the DLC itself in February, if you by that logic.
Right. Yeah, it's first quarter, so you know it could be anywhere from January 1st to the end of March. That's first quarter. So yeah, and then of course that would put us right in par with the chapter coming out for early summer, like last year.
Yeah.
So.
Which I wonder what will be. Well, what will it be?
Well,
do we have any like hints towards it?
I haven't finished Clockwork City, but people have been saying that the final, like, essentially the quest that was what I talked about during my tales, the sweet roll quest, like the quest after you finish the main story of Clockwork City, there's an additional, I guess, that gives you hints, and people are assuming that it is Somerset Isles. Not, you know, we have Oradon, it'll be the big island. Or at least part of the big island.
So it'll be like lots of Altmers?
Yeah, it'll be Altmer. I think we can skip this chapter.
Yeah, I don't think I'll spend money on that one. Nah.
As Kimundi says in chat, Somerset Isles. Spoil!
Hey, Kim, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I won't be buying that one. Anyway, though. So here's the main thing about this new DLC.
Okay.
It says Dragon Bones. So it'll be most likely
so dead dragons that don't exist. I understand. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead.
I mean, do you really think an MMORPG, not saying an Elder Scrolls game, an MMORPG will miss the chance of putting there a dragon boss? Do you really think they will miss that chance?
Nope.
They will skip that chance.
Unless it's an undead dragon, which is still a dead dragon. It's dead.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You say.
No.
There are no dragons.
Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. There are no dragons.
Hold on.
They're all dead.
Well, we'll see with this DLC.
They're all dead.
If there are dragons or not in Second Era.
No.
I mean, we know there are dragons in, at least a dragon in Third Era, which is Martin Septim, who turns himself.
No, he's not a dragon.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter. He is a dragon. He turns into a dragon.
Parthenax is like the only living dragon, and he's in the top of the world, and he's
I'm getting there as well. I'm getting there as well, because I thought about it last night, actually. I thought about how to make you angry about this.
Well, you're doing a good job.
So, yeah. I mean, Parthenax was Alduin's like brother, yeah?
Yes.
Not technically. But
No, they were younger brother. Yeah. They were siblings.
So, yeah. So Parthenax was alive since Alduin was alive.
Yeah.
And that's like very, very long time ago, before the First Era, Second Era, and all those eras. And Parthenax has been alive all this time. Which means there are at least a dragon.
There's one dragon.
In Tamriel.
I will concede one dragon.
The eras. And now in Elder Scrolls Online, we are going to see a dragon again. Probably with the boss as a boss, I guess. But I don't know. But I hope we do, just so I can make you angrier.
Nope. I refuse to believe. I will be so angry if they add another dragon outside of Parthenax.
If they actually do add a dragon as a boss in this DLC, how do you think they will handle the lore? Like, what do you think they'll say?
Alright, if I had to say for breaking the lore, if they were going to add a dragon, since it's Dragon Bones, I could see a dragon priest using necromantic magic to raise a dragon that would be like an undead dragon, similar to what you saw in the one DLC for Skyrim, the undead dragon in the vampire world, which would be a dead dragon that was raised. So it's not even really a full dragon. I don't think it would be able to shout because it would just be an animated dragon. There would be none. Now, the only other way is, what if this area leads us to the the throat of the world, and we see Parthenax?
Actually,
you're not necessarily fighting dragons. There's just the one, because you're receiving the quest from Parthenax. Maybe some, I don't know, some people are trying to kill him, and you have to save him.
You see, seeing Parthenax would be amazing, actually. Because there is the entrance of the 7,000 steps to High Hrothgar.
Yep.
In Rift, but it's blocked by like fallen trees and things like that.
Yep.
And you know, the DLC does say expanding the knowledge of that area, lore of that area, and whatnot.
I very much could see one of the dungeons being the 7,000 steps, where you're fighting up the steps to High Hrothgar, and you beat the boss that's like sieging High Hrothgar or whatever, and then Parthenax welcomes you.
Oh man, that would actually be amazing.
Yeah, that would be...
Oh, now I'm hopeful.
Now you're really going to be playing ESO.
Yep, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already jumping around aimlessly as we talk, so I'm getting one aspect of my gameplay back.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that I need to get the useful parts back instead of just jumping around.
Oh, I mean, you already missed out on our drunken IC night where we all drinking and fishing in IC.
I don't know, man. I wasn't invited, so
you were. Of course, you were invited. It's open to anyone in the guild.
I was probably in my third sleep by then.
You were either asleep or at work, because it was like our normal 8 or 9, whatever, at night. But yeah, it was.
If it was 8 or 9, I was sleeping. If it's later than that, I was probably going to work.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 9 or whatever. But yeah. Needless to say, that's kind of what I see. I'm predicting right now that one of the dungeons is going to be the 7,000 steps. And when you get to the top or whatever, you'll fight a boss. I'm not going to say who the boss is. Maybe it's a necromancer who can summon a dragon bone zombie of some kind. It won't be a real dragon, but if we see a dragon,
can dragon priests reanimate dragons?
I don't think so. Like, they never had that power in Skyrim.
I remember something like that being discussed in one of the Discords. I can't remember if it was ours or a Folie Noir's, but I remember something like that being discussed. Like dragon priests having the ability to get a dragon up and running, I want to say, alive and kicking.
Right.
Without Aldine's help. But I don't remember where it was or if the discussion was actually exactly this, but yeah.
Yeah.
But probably not if you don't remember something like that, because you're...
Yeah, I don't remember that particular...
Then again, it's not unusual that you're wrong about the dragons and the lore surrounding it.
Ouch.
So, yeah. Man, I was looking forward to talking about this just because. And oh man, as soon as people listen to this, like Galiskner and everyone, you are gonna get so many messages. I hope I'm not hinting anything towards our listeners. But if you do want to send an email about how Ag is generally wrong about dragons and their existence throughout Tamriel in 2nd and 3rd era, feel free to send an email at Dungeon Crawler Network. If you get into the website, there's a contact form right there. Feel free to correct them. And I'm going to make sure we are going to read all of those on our next episode.
I might hate you a little bit.
But I'm not suggesting anything. No.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Hey, Avi Optimal logged on too. That's weird.
It's been a while. Yeah, we were playing PUBG with him the other day. Actually, we do that a lot.
Yeah. I don't play other games.
Gotta bring him back to ESO as well, maybe.
Yeah. I really only play ESO and Ashes of Creation alphas.
Yeah. I can never imagine you playing a shooter anyway. Any shooter. Have you ever played like a mainstream shooter? I don't know, like
a mainstream shooter,
Overwatch, maybe things like that.
Okay,
like the main
very first game that I got really into. All right, this is going back, guys. It was a game called Operation Flashpoint. Okay, you can look this up. Yeah. This was kind of before the whole Battlefield era or those shooters and stuff like that. This game was supposed to like completely revolutionize shooters because you could drive tanks, you could shoot, you could drive planes. Like, it was everything. It was a tank sim, a flight sim, first person shooter all in one. It was actually really cool for its day. And this was a long time ago, but that was, I was even part of a clan for it, like a guild, but they were generally like for first person shooters that actually could participated in tournaments. And that's actually where I got hooked on to MMOs in the first place, because I actually, a gentleman joined our squad, and he was new, and I offered to help train him. So I was helping him train. I was running skirmishes with him to try. And while we were up one night talking and doing our training and stuff, he was telling me a story. Now, he lived in Hawaii, right? So he was telling me a story about how he was on this island one day, and he was I was so captivated by this story, right? Thinking that he was telling me a story of him in Hawaii, when in reality he was telling me a story about Ultima Online. Like, he's like, I found a boat, and normally I wouldn't just take it, but I did. So I'm sitting there thinking he's like in Hawaii and he found a boat and he just went out and whatever. And I thought this was real life, and he's talking, he's telling me all this stuff, and I think that's great, until he's like, and then all of a sudden a GM pops on, and I'm like, what the heck's a GM? What are you talking? Oh, it's a game. Oh. Only after that did I realize what was going on, and he actually is the first one that got me into MMORPGs in the first place, with Ultima Online. And ever since that, I've been an RPG nut, and I dropped shooters altogether. But I actually started with shooters first. Those were my very first games that I've ever played, were shooters. Wow. I'm trying to think when, and of course, you and I already talked about Quake.
That's why I said
Unreal,
like mainstream shooters and things like that. Because
Unreal 99 is about as mainstream as it got back in the day. You know what I mean?
Well, I was a small toddler back then, so I wouldn't know. For me, it was Unreal 2004.
Oh yeah, I was 99.
2004 has its special place in my heart.
Right. I mean, when 99 came on Steam for like $3, I bought it again. I still hop on and play Unreal 99 from time to time.
I do the same for 2004. Yeah,
yeah.
Still have it on my Steam.
It's just
too bad.
awesome.
They no longer have servers, so you have to do a bunch of weird stuff to actually.
Yeah, there's no official servers. It's all hosted individually. So of course, you're going off that person's internet connection. If the person hosting it doesn't necessarily have a super strong connection, then, there's lag issues. And, No, I got you on that. Makes sense. But, shooters were the first games I actually ever did. I just fell in love with the MMO genre after that point. So, yeah. It was actually crazy. There was a time in my life when I actually considered joining the military and being part of that too. And that just became too much of a geek for that.
If the military used swords and shields.
Oh, now, yeah, totally. But I was a standard crazy nut job, I guess. Yeah, but
don't get me wrong. I love firearms. I love them, but not the military.
Yeah.
I love firearms as a sport. Like, if we had a shooting range around here, I wouldn't get out of it. But I'm thankful that I didn't do military stuff.
Yeah. So, for me, I used to, but I've always been someone who loves swords. Like, I remember having little wooden ones I played with when I was a kid. Like, and that kind of started my love. And then there's that weird teenage years where I was all about firearms instead, and that's where I was like, I'm gonna join the army. And then now I went back to my true love, which is swords and shields. So
Yeah.
But all right, so those are kind of my thoughts on that. So I guess we're up to the point now where I have to I have to kill this thing first, but we're up to 36 lessons because I think that's the end of our news.
How long has it been since the show started? Can you see that?
Oh, for how long the show's been going? Like just this stream? Yeah, an hour and 47 minutes.
Hour and 47. If that's all right with you, we could skip reading for today.
Sure. Yeah, we'll save it for next week because I guess this is fairly long, and I know we didn't start necessarily on time, so we'll hold our reading for this week.
I apologize for everyone who was like waiting for the reading, but may or may not have some plans with my brother, so
yeah,
I might run. Yeah,
that's cool. All right, well, Ark, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere that says Arkhaniir, that is ARKHANIIR. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch. I try to stream regularly now that I started a full-time job, but lately I've been having fun with Dark Souls 3. First time ever playing it. Very frustrating stream. But you can give me a follow there, twitch.tv/ I almost said Dungeon Crawler Network.
Follow both places.
Yeah. If you are not following us on Twitch at Dungeon Crawl Network, do so as well. You can follow me on Twitter, you can contact me from Twitter, or you can send me an email at arkhaniir@gmail.com. And that's about it, I guess.
All right. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Aggelos, AGGELOS_WOF. You can follow me here on twitch.tv/Dungeon Crawler Network, where I've been streaming almost every night. There's a fairly good schedule going on there where we do all sorts of fun stuff. Everything we do, DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com, where you find links to our YouTube, youtube.com/DungeonCrawlerNetwork, twitch.tv/DungeonCrawlerNetwork, and, of course, Facebook.com/DungeonCrawlerNetwork. You got it. We're not very original on that. It's called branding. Get used to it. So there we go. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we hope to see you in-game. See you later, everybody.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark, down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.